I want to start with my foundation. I am using the CoverGirl Outlast Fabulous in the shade Nude Beige. I'm going to pump this on the back of my hand. And today I'm going to be using my Beauty Blender. I love this. I love this so much. I can't speak highly enough of it. It really just blends my foundation effortlessly, and it's so beautiful, and it almost looks airbrushed. So I want to go in on the back of my hand, and when using the Beauty Blender you want to go in a patting motion. So just a quick patting motion. Oh, and I forgot, you need to damp this really good. Squeeze this a few times underneath the water. Make sure you fill up the sponge with water and then squeeze out the eye skin. So keep dabbing and patting in real good to make sure that foundation is going into your skin. And this foundation is actually wonderful, and it's very buildable. It's not cakey, and it actually looks pretty natural, and it's very lightweight. You do not want a line from your face to your neck. You want that all blended in evenly. So I do actually do a swiping motion this way with my neck just to make sure I cover all those areas. And then you can go in with your patting motion. If you don't have a Beauty Blender, you can always use a brush of some sort or your fingers. Your fingers will work just fine. I use my fingers for such a long time, and honestly sometimes it works better. Sometimes your hands are your best tools. Okay, so we're almost done here. A few quick more pats. Next I'm going to go in with my concealer, and I'm going to be using the Naked Skin by Urban Decay. Looks like this. I don't know if you can see. So when applying your concealer, I recommend, if you want the more lifted look, that you come in a triangular motion, in a triangular shape with your concealer. With just concealing this way, you're actually bringing out your dark circles more. So going in, I'm going to start, let's zoom in a little bit now that we're getting closer. Okay. So I'm going to go in a triangular motion. Just create a little triangle on your little cheeks. Take that all the way up to your temple. And I like to make sure that I get some in my corner area. You want that to blend in. And I like to take this a little closer to my eye. And with this concealer, I like to move quickly because it does tend to dry if I sit there too long. So again, using the Beauty Blender, you can use your finger. If you're going to use your finger, I recommend you take your ring finger and your thumb and rub them together and warm them up. And if you're going to do it that way, you come in this way with your finger and keep patting it in, and then come back out and then come back in to set it. So I'm pretty much doing the same thing, and I like to flip it to the little pointy end and really get up in there. I love this concealer. It doesn't crease too bad with me. I have a lot of problem with, because I think it's my fault why I have so much creasing, because I tug at my eyes when I'm doing my eyeliner, and I think that's just created wrinkles underneath there throughout time because I have been wearing eyeliner for such a long time. And so that eye's blended. We're going to go on to the next eye again. This is actually the first concealer that I've used that's really brightened it up better than any other one that I've used before. Normally it's pretty close to my skin tone, so it doesn't brighten it as much as this does, and I'm really loving it. So it looks a little bright now, but I promise once everything's blended in with our powder, it will look so much better and more natural. So like I said, you're going to come in this way and come back this way. Now I am going to set my concealer and my foundation with the Rimmel Stay Matte Concealer. And I recommend before you go in to set your concealer, look up or look straight into your mirror, either one. By looking this way, you're not going to allow that concealer to settle in those lines. And so go in there one last time underneath. I'll look at you guys for this. I'm going to use this as my mirror real quick to show you. So looking straight, taking the powder, tapping off the excess, and under your eyes I recommend you go in a patting motion just like you did with the Beauty Blender. This really gets that powder in there and helps it set. See, I look down a little bit, not good. Keep looking forward. It'll be over before you know it. There I go again. I just can't see looking in this viewfinder. So now at this point I can look wherever I want, and I like to just go over my face and finish it off with powder. And now I'm going to go in and contour. So today I'm going to be using the Anastasia contour kit. I just bought this. I've already gotten it a little bit dirty, but I love this contour kit. It is absolutely amazing, and it goes on so beautifully, and I really love it. I highly recommend this. There is 6 shades in here, and I'm going to be using these 2 shades right here because they are lighter, and this one's a little bit too dark for me, and these go under my eyes, and this is for my highlight. I'm going to take a small angled blush brush like this. It came in my Ipsy bag. I'm not even sure what brand it is. It says Luxie 504. I'm going to actually take this side, the pointed area of the brush, and come in here I can go ahead and put it all over the brush, but I really want to focus it on the edge of that. And taking the angled side of the brush, I'm going to carve out the hollows of my cheek. And when contouring, you want to make sure you find your jawbone. If you can't find your jawbone, you can do the little fishy face, and you should feel it. You want to start contouring underneath that bone and stop where the bone ends. Or at least that's how my face is, but I think that's how most people's faces are, and it should work out just fine that way. So coming in sideways, just really carving out those cheekbones, and then I'm going to take it up here, kind of create a round shape here to create a higher cheekbone. It looks a little dark, but we're going to blend it in, and it will look really nice when we're finished. So make sure you get it around here, and then we'll move up in just a moment. I'm going to take a dome-shaped brush, and it is the Blush Brush by Real Techniques, and I'm just going to blend that out real quick, just so we don't have any harsh lines. And now this is when I like to add the shade next to it. Just a little, not too much. I just want to add a little bit more color. I just like to do a few pats over the cheek and then come in. And I'm blending that in real good, real quick. Circular motions. We just want to create a shadow. We don't want anything too harsh. So as you can see, we have a shadow going on there. And now I'm going to take it up to my temple. Doing that again on this side. I'm blending these 2 colors together. And if you have a longer forehead, you can take your bronzer a little bit further down, but don't go too far down. Probably about, I'd say, about 1.5 inches down. I would stop right there. And again, taking your bronzer in the corner. And I'm going to do this side. And bringing that up around my hairline and blending this all together. Going to pop that shade real quick on top of that just to give it a little more color. And you can also take the excess underneath your jawline to make sure you're real blended in. I'm going to go back in and blend this really, really good because I don't want any harsh lines. So now that we have everything blended, I'm going to go in underneath my eyes to brighten it up with the banana shade and this shade next to it. These two mixed together really brighten up the under eye very, very nicely. So I'm just going to go under and pat it. Brighten it up real, real good. As you can see, it kind of brightens that up. Or at least I hope you can see. Going back under the side. One more time. And I also like to put that shade right here to brighten this up a little bit. Where we contoured, we want to go right underneath, just a little bit. And then I like to take these two shades again, I like to go right underneath that contour to brighten that up. Right underneath. One more time. And I'm going to go with the highlight right on my nose, all the way down, and just a little bit on the tip. And I forgot to do this, I also like to take a little bit of my bronzer and just put a little bit on the side of my nose. I don't want to put too much, I just add for color on myself. Most people do it to create a smaller nose, but my nose is very, very tiny, so I don't need to do that. I just like to add a little bit. So that is my completed foundation routine / contour routine, and I hope you really enjoyed this. And until next time, I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.